Good, thank you very much. Just Moshe,
Excuse me, can I just suggest something? You sat down to mass. Now you're putting your mask. You can take the mask off. We cannot send you better.
If you cannot hear me, I'll take it off.
We cannot
You'll
send you
understand
better.
why I'm wearing it in a minute. I want to share with you a little thought. As we have heard, we are in the period which is leading up to Tisha B'Av, which is on Thursday. And during this period, we are mourning the destruction of not one, but two Beit HaMikdash, the first and the second. And our rabbis teach us that the first Beit HaMikdash was destroyed because of three sins that the Bnei Israel sinned, which were all between man and God. They were the sins of Avodah Zarah. They worshipped idol worship. It was a sin of Gilui Arayot, of forbidden relationships and Shlichat Damim. They also went and they killed other people, murder. So those are all three very serious sins. We're then told that the second Beit HaMikdash, as a wise and intelligent person has just told us, that the second Beit HaMikdash was destroyed because of Sinat Chinam, because of hatred between one and another. And Chazal tell us that actually the Sinat Chinam, the hatred that we had, was far greater a sin than the three sins that we were talking about with the destruction of the first Beit HaMikdash. In fact, we were told what is worse, the sin of Sinat Chinam or the three cardinal sins. Look at how long it took for us to do tshuva. The first Beit HaMikdash was rebuilt after 70 years. The second Beit HaMikdash is from 2,000 years, it was still waiting. It shows you how powerful is that sin. But it does seem very strange. As Ramosha said, unfortunately, it seems to be within the nature of a person sometimes to behave in an unpleasant manner to another person. How can we be punished so severely for this? And then my brother told me a beautiful idea from Rabbi Hutner. He says as follows. He said, you should know that the three sins that were the cause of the destruction of the first Beit HaMikdash, they were the output. They were things that people were doing. But the action of Sinat Chinam, this is like the kli, it's like the vessel. It's what is holding that output. When the output is wrong, you can fix that output. With a little tweak, you can turn along and you can fix it. But when the whole vessel is mukukah, when the whole vessel is messed up, then to fix that is a totally different story. And that was the contrast between the destruction of the first Beit HaMikdash and the second Beit HaMikdash. Today is the yahrzeit of really a dear friend, a rabbi, a teacher. He taught my father, Zechrono Livracha. I'm sure they're learning b'chavrutza today in Shamayim. He taught us, but Moshe said he spent his time learning. But it's interesting, Simon, when you asked me to speak, it wasn't just of the Torah that you referred. It was to the little things. It was to the little conversations. And the reason is very simple. The output was pure because the kli, because the vessel was so special, was so pure. That is what made him so unique. And the truth is that the way that he interacted and engaged with everybody was really unique because he showed such love for everybody. It didn't matter how they dressed, what they said, who they were. He showed love, respect incredibly because he should never have, but he showed such love and feeling care for each individual. And that is what made him so unique. I want to end with the following idea, Morav Rabotai. We are living in one of the most crazy times. That is the reality. Who can believe that I'm standing speaking to you with a mask over my face? Okay, it's crazy. And what we are talking about during this period, what is the antidote to Sinat Chinam? Is that we should be together, we should be closer. But we've been given a plague that has come and is forcing us to be apart. But I want you to know something. We've been given a challenge to wear a mask. And I was thinking about it. I'll be honest, I went into a shop and a few of the people were wearing masks and plenty of people were not wearing masks. And there is this feeling, oh, no, I don't need to wear a mask, I'm fine, I'm okay. It's a very interesting thing. What is the government telling us about a mask and what are the doctors telling us? They're telling us wear a mask because you might be sending out the disease to other people. It's not that it protects you, it is protecting others. So when you're told to put on a mask, it causes discomfort for me to help somebody else. In a way, that is exactly the lesson we have to learn. that sometimes we have to lose from ourselves to give to other people. This is the lesson that Rav Avraham gave us, and this is what is the antidote to Sinat Chinam. If we want to fix that kli, if we want to fix that vessel, what we've got to do is realize that we've got to give of ourselves in order to fix. So Bezrat Hashem, the actions were taken. We'll see Bezrat Hashem, this will be the last year we have to mourn the Bet HaMikdash.
Amen. יישר כוח, יישר כוח.
קם, I got the chair, קם.
יש פה משהו. שב, הרב משה, שב. יש שם, אוקיי.
Ask by you to give Dvar Torah V'ilu Nishmat Avraham ben Simcha, and I wanted to know more about him, so I called Avi Amor, which you advised me to, and that's what I did today. I spoke with him 10-15 minutes over the phone, and he told me quite a lot of things about Avraham ben Simcha, Zecher Tzadik Livracha. And it's fascinating. He used to know all the Shas by heart. Not just that, all the hardest sugiyot, all the hardest discussions in the Shas, all nizikim, he knew them so well. He knew all the mefarshim, not just the rishonim, also the achronim. You could come and ask him a she'ela, and he will refer you which page you can go in the Gemara, which Tosfos you need to look at. And if you could come and tell him, listen, I don't understand it, he will tell you, go to this page and this page. And he'll make you even more confused. And when you come back to him, he will start talking, saying, confusing, huh? I knew you were going to come back to me. So let me sort out now everything for you. Mamash Adam Pashut, simple person. I'm saying it on behalf of Avi Amor. I mean, there's a lot of others who will probably say that it's truth. It was Mamash Adam Pashut. You could have seen him in the street, and you wouldn't know what is inside of him. But Avraham Amor told me that this person, if he was live in the time of the Tanaim Kedoshim, he is one of those people that you banned him from davening. Why? Because he needs to sit and learn Torah from morning till evening. You understand what I'm saying? This person was such a Talmid Chacham that he could, a part of the Chagim, Yom Kippur, Rosh Hashanah, he could have not davening to that level. Only Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, only the greatest Tanaim, just they needed to do Shema Israel, they could have continued with their learning. His learning was so special, was so unique, and his knowledge, such a Talmid Chacham, in any aspect, Halacha, Gemara, Shas, he never touched Kabbalah. That's what I heard. He always in the Pshat. But still, it's amazing. If you put him in the previous generations, he was one of those guys that need to sit down all day long and learn Torah. We are in a very sad moments of the 9 days of Chodesh Av. Tisha B'Av is in a couple of days. We shouldn't judge anyone in our life, part of judging him verbally. And this is the example. You can see a simple person, but until you speak with him, you see how much Torah he has inside of him. He used to learn with the grandson of Lupian. Did you guys know who is Lupian, the grandson? Not many people have the zchut. But you could see him, very simple person. Very simple. Like you and me. Think about it. How much we need to judge everyone fairly. And not giving up on anyone. I heard a beautiful story. Fascinating story. I might not bring the right names in the story, but I literally remember 90% of it. It was a great Admor. He used to walk from his house to his shul every Shabbos. And every time he used to do that walk, there was a guy, a young guy there. It was in Jerusalem. And that guy, in Shabbat, used to sit down on the fence, speaking with his friends, and smoking a cigarette in Shabbat. The Rebbe, the big Admor, always had people walking around with him. We saw him first time, and he told him, Shabbos, Shabbos. He told the Admor, Shabbat Shalom, good Shabbos. What are you doing? It's Shabbos today. I'm sitting, smoking, speaking with my friend. Very important, very important. Very good. הרבה הצלחה, הרבה ברכה. And he continued to shul. His talmidim, his students asked him, Rebbe, what is this? Why did you even stop to speak with him? He said, guys, I know what I'm doing. Please, I know what I'm doing. Next Shabbat, how are you? How do you feel? Shabbos. Shabbos, Rebbe. What are you doing today? Waiting for my guys to pick me up. We're going to the cinema. Shabbos. Shabbos, good Shabbos, Rebbe. Cinema? Important. Very good. Mazal tov. Bracha v'atzlacha, good Shabbos. The third Shabbat, he told him, every Shabbat I come, I tell you Shabbos. This Shabbat is a special Shabbat. We have a Chazan, came from America. Someone phenomenal. The guy heard Chazan. I used to be a Chazan. But religious was not really good for me, so I started to walk off religious. But I want to tell you, Rebbe, I was a great Chazan. Oh, very good. Would you respect me? Come, just this Shabbos, come and listen to this Chazan. I'm telling you, you're going to bless me for coming just to listen to him. The guy didn't know what to do. Obviously, the Rebbe had the Ruach HaKodesh. He knew that something related to him with Chazanut. He convinced him. He told him today, where are you going today? We're going to the sea. Oh, Shabbos, come with me to the shul. There is a Chazan, great Chazan. Okay, you know what? I'm coming with you. He came with him. He heard that tefillah. The week after, the Rebbe didn't give up. He told him, good Shabbos. The guy's taking cigarette out and lighting it up. He told the Shabbos, what you doing? Smoking a cigarette. He said, okay, I understand. Today, the Chazan from last week, he didn't show up. Would you come to give us a Chazanut? This Rebbe, no, Chas v'shalom. What has it got to do to me? I haven't done Chazanut for just 19 years old. Please, we don't have anyone. How would the shul look like? You know, by yourself, Chazan is very important. The Rebbe managed to convince him. He threw the cigarette and he came after him. And the Rebbe gave him a kippah, a talit, and he davened such a beautiful voice. 45 years down the road. Listen to that. The Rebbe is walking in one of the halls in Jerusalem, the bar mitzvah, and he was invited, and he's climbing up 3 stairs, 3 floors. All his Hasidim around him, everyone is trying to say hello to the Rebbe, to kiss his hand. They're pushing everyone aside. When they reach to the top floor, they need to choose. Turning right is bar mitzvah of Moishele. Turning left is Seudat Odaya of Yankele. The Rebbe said, I think so, his name is Moshe. Let's turn right, let's try there. I don't know who's Yankele. The guy that was called Yankele was the one who do this event, the Baal HaIrua, he came out and he looked at him and he said, Rebbe, you don't know who is Yankele? I'm Yankele, you don't remember me? The Rebbe said, sorry, do I know you? The guy had a beard with long pairs. Mamash Chassid, Bachur Tzaddik. He told him, Rebbe, I'm the boy, 40-something years along the road. You remember back at the time? You told me come to the synagogue to daven. After that davening, I couldn't sleep, Rebbe. I want to tell you, I become Choser B'tshuva. And you know what? 5 minutes, I know you're going to the bar mitzvah. I already heard it. But come inside to the hall. I want to show you something. And he went inside to the hall and told him, Rebbe, today I'm doing Sudat Odaya. A thank to Hashem. A thank you to Hashem. For what? Today is my 100th grandson came to the world. 100th grandson after 40-something years. He got married with a religious woman. He got, Baruch Hashem, many kids, and the many kids brought many kids. 100 grandchildren. He told them, I want to say something. We have only a window, 5 minutes, because the Rebbe need to go. Everyone was inspired. The Admor, the Rebbe. Yes, listen to that. I want to tell you a secret. All these 100 kids that standing here today, they are not my grandchildren. So his wife looking at him and saying, how can you say that? This is not your grandchildren's? Yes, they may be my grandchildren's, biological grandchildren's. But the one who inspired me and put me back in tshuva, this is his grandchildren's, not mine. Because of him, I'm here. The Rebbe never gave up on anyone. We shouldn't give up on anyone. Even someone that looked to you that is out of the way, you have the powers to bring him in the way. Especially in such a days. There was a factory that was built in the middle of the center town. One of the famous factories.
To play game.
And that factory
But I wanted to play game.
was built by
עוד מעט, 5 minutes.
a young person
Go.
who was very ambitious. And all his life he worked so hard to raise money to lift up this factory. A lot of people worked in that factory, got married, he got children. He had 4 kids. One day when the kids arrived to an age where they can participate in his factory, he decided it's a time to call them up. And he called them up. And they came to start to work in the factory, and he teach them all the secrets of the industry of his factory. But with the time he got old, and the kids took over. When he got very old, they start to write their names on the offices' doors. They start to transfer all the ownership on their name, on their kid's name. And suddenly they called up their father and they told him, Daddy, we want to speak with you. What happened, my kids, my dear kids, what happened? Daddy, you're no longer good for the company. You are fired. Don't take it so hard. Nothing wrong. We got for you a lovely, beautiful flat under the stairs. In one of the buildings, they're building a lovely studio there. It's enough for you, Daddy. And we want to put you there, and that's what they did. Look at us. Hashem built such a place, Bet HaMikdash. Beis HaMikdash. And we, Kivyachol, a big Kivyachol, we took him out and we kind of taking over, davening in the streets. Where did we put Hashem? Where did we left him? In such a sad days of Tisha B'Av, if we're not going to have ahavat chinam between us, if we're not going to judge favorably every one of us, not everyone who say a word to you, you need to take it so hard and not speak with him for many years and I don't know what. Not everyone that you see that he looks to you that is not strong, is not dati, is less dati, more dati. You don't know what is inside of him. If you get know him better, you know better. And this is what we need to do. This is what we need to do in order to bring back Daddy to his factory. In order to bring back Hashem to Bet HaMikdash, only Ahavat Chinam. And Avraham ben Simcha, whoever asked him a she'elah, he would stop everything and he would tell him not just an answer, where can you go and look inside the books where it's written? And if you have a problem, come back to me. יהי רצון שכל הדברי תורה שאמרנו יהיו לעילוי נשמתו.
אמן,
יהי
אמן.
רצון שתמיד נזכה לעשות אהבת חינם.
אמן,
נזכה
אמן.
לראות את משיח צדקנו במהרה בימינו.
אמן, אמן. יישר כוח, חזק וברוך. חזק וברוך.